All right, had a good day again today. I felt like our practice was upbeat, and I think we got a lot accomplished. Again, staying focused. Again, day two, more on us getting better at the fundamentals of the game. But overall, we had a good day today.
Any word on the academic stuff?
Academically, right now, everybody's good to go. They did they actually did a really good job, and we're proud of how they finished the semester.
Gene, how much time have you been able to devote to searching for a new defensive coordinator? I know you got your plate full.
Enough time to have a really good idea of some candidates, but again, there's a delicate balance here, but I feel good about the knowledge of several different guys that I think would be the right fits for all.
I know you said there was no time frame. You were going to put time frame on it. Do you have a better idea of when maybe you might make a move? Or?
No, I don't.
What about with Gus? Obviously, his name keeps coming up for jobs. Mm-hmm. Have you talked to him specifically about making a good decision about where to maybe not now this year, but maybe down the road of where to start his head coaching career? Because obviously you were a top assistant and then you got your career going. Have you given him any knowledge on anything like that?
We've had, Gus and I have a great relationship, and we've had several discussions about, moving forward in his career and where, what his goals are. But, at the end of the day, the decisions that he makes are going to be, up to him, and he, I'm sure he'll make, the best decision for him and his family. But we're very open when we talk about it, and, again, he's, if an opportunity arises, I'm sure that he'll do what's best for him and his family, just like, I do.
Are you prepared for, what to do if it were to happen between now and the bowl game? Do you know exactly where you could go then?
Yes, I have a plan for that.
Do you feel confident that he's obviously focused on the bowl game? Do you feel confident that his I guess, attention might be elsewhere than preparing for the bowl game?
No. I'm 100% sure Gus is very focused on, one thing, and that is helping us win the bowl game. So he's the offensive coordinator at Auburn, and that's what his job is. So, I'm sure that's exactly where he is.
Coaching linebackers, is that anything different now that you've been head coaching away from it, coming back and actually getting your hands on the guys? Is there any kind of different maybe that you've changed, your philosophy has changed since the last time you've actually coached a position?
No, as the defensive coordinator, I've had pretty much the same philosophy for a lot of years. So, that hasn't changed.
What is it about being actually with those group of guys and being able to?
Well, it's kind of it's a part that you miss somewhat as a head coach. Unless you're a head coach who is also a position coach, which some people do. But it's fun getting back in there with them. It's fun back in there, getting back in the meeting rooms and the grind of the film work and the practice film and things of that nature. It's fun going back and kind of getting back into it some more. So the last 2 days have been really, really good for me.
Is there any scenario where you can see where you would do that, where you would be the permanent defensive coordinator?
I'll never say never, but right now that's not my aim.
What do you think percentage time-wise you're spending position coach, DC, and then head coach? I mean, are you juggling it pretty good, or how?
I'm doing a good juggling act right now. I can't put a percentage on it. Time management is obviously something that I'm spending a lot of time trying to balance out right now, and it's a challenge, but we're making it work.
It's a good thing you don't have to go to class. So.
Exactly. Get my doctorate.
How has Justin Garrett progressed since he got here this summer?
He's doing better. I think that he's got a ways to go. He's certainly talented enough to be a good player in this league. He's got to learn the game, and he'll have a decent chance to be a contributor here down the road.
So have you made any headway on the third tailback situation? Just kind of going from idea?
No, we're kind of in the same spot we've been, and again, it's been 2 days, so we're pretty much in the same spot we were last night.
Have you looked at somebody like Robinson Theresa who actually played tailback in high school?
Thoughts on Trey Mason, 2 practices in? What do you see?
again, we're counting on him to improve every day. He's got a long way to go. But again, we've got enough practices that, you know, we feel confident we can get him there. But he's got a ways to go with pass protection. And he's got a ways to go with, you know, sharing that time with Ontario. But he's got to get it done.
Pass protection is always something a younger back takes a while to
Always.
get.
Always. That's the most challenging part with backs. You know, just learning the protections, and there's so many exotic schemes out there that you really have to be prepared for, and it's tough.
How about Ontario? Obviously, he's going to have a big load that he's carrying on. How is he doing right now, and how much are you expecting from him?
I think he's doing well, and you know, I think he's ready to carry that load, and he knows the expectation of us for him for this game. So I think he's embracing it, and again, he's going to have to up the level of his game.
Gene, when you're looking for a defensive coordinator, do you look more at what you think should be working right? Like, here's what I want to do, here's somebody who matches that, or you say, here's somebody who's successful, and I will bring them here to do what they do. Do you look at it like that?
I think it's a great combination of both. I think there's got to be a philosophy similarity for sure. And then, you know, obviously you want to get somebody that you know has done it successfully. But I think you can't pigeonhole one particular thing you're looking for. You know, I think you got to look at the whole thing, and he's got to be a right fit for your staff as well. You know, he's got to be a right fit to mix in with the other guys, and he's got to be a great leader and all those things that it takes, you know, as a coordinator. So, you know, it's not as simple as saying I'm looking for one or two things. I think there's a lot of things in the mix.
Do you expect to stick with the 4-3 basic run?
Not necessarily. That's not a deal breaker.
Can you talk about El Toro and kind of the journey he's had? We talked to him last night after graduating, and not just off the field, all the things he went through to get to graduate, and then on the field, he's really stepped up his game.
You know, I'm just extremely, extremely proud of him. And, you know, if you just take the kind of the transformation here in the last 5-6 weeks, I mean, you can just take that. So here's a young man that came in from junior college and he graduated, which that's the #1 goal. That's outstanding. And just watching him in the last 5 or 6 weeks become a good football player, you know, and become, you know, what we had hoped he had been. And he's had a journey. It's been an up and down journey. I think he'll tell you that. But he's grown up off the field, unbelievable, and he's grown up on the field. And that's the great satisfaction in coaching, is that you can get these guys in here and they've all got different journeys, you know, and when he leaves here in a month, you know, you can say, now that guy, you know, he came in as this and he left as an Auburn man. I mean, he left as a true Auburn man, and that's, you know, you can't put a price on that. That's priceless. You know.
One or two more for Coach?
How much of Kyle's reps changed, especially early in the bowl practice for maybe some of the young guys? Is he doing a lot more in the regular offense rather than Wildcat?
Well, he's getting some more reps in the regular offense. There's no question, because he understands it better, you know, and he understands, you know, different concepts. And because again, this is kind of like spring practice #1. So you're expecting, you know, all of the young guys to come in and have a better grasp on what we're doing. So, you know, he's not the only young guy that's happening to.
A week or two, a couple weeks ago, you said you might get some of your injured guys back who haven't been able to practice for a while. Anybody who's able to practice now who's been sidelined?
Well, you know, I don't know exactly where we're going to stand, but there's a couple guys. There's a guy like Davis Hooper, who's kind of back in there right now, trying to give it a go. We'll see. You know, we'll see where that ends up. You know, Chris Frost has run around some out there. You know, he can't be full contact. We know he's redshirted, but you know, he's able to come back and practice some now, so that's good to see. But you know, other than those two off the top of my head, that's it.
How about
Yeah,
Sammy?
Cooper doesn't have any chance, does he? So.
How about Sammy Coates?
Sammy's practicing, and Sammy, you know, but he was practicing. He was already practicing some, and you know, obviously he's redshirted as well.
But
he's
can he
back
have
running
contact?
now. What's that?
Can he have contact?
Well, we're trying to be very judicious about how much contact he has, but he's definitely made a lot of strides.